Welcome back. Today we are breaking down all the major categories of luxury fashion brands, who they are, where they come from, and what makes each one different from the rest. Let's get started. French haute couture houses. These are the oldest and most prestigious names in the fashion world. Houses like Chanel, Dior and Givenchy were built in Paris and have been operating for decades, sometimes over a century. What separates them from everything else is craftsmanship taken to its absolute limit. Garments are made entirely by hand, fitted to a single client, and require hundreds of hours of skilled labor. A single dress from a couture collection can cost more than a luxury car. These brands do not just sell clothes. They sell heritage, artistry, and a kind of exclusivity that no amount of money can simply manufacture overnight. Italian luxury fashion houses. Italy gave the world a different kind of luxury, one rooted in material obsession and family legacy. Gucci, Prada, Versace, Fendi, and Bottega Veneta all come from Italian soil, and each carries a distinct identity. What unites them is an uncompromising attention to the quality of leather, silk, and fabric. Italian luxury is often more wearable than French couture, bridging the gap between art and daily life. Many of these houses started as small family workshops, cobblers, leather artisans, tailors, who built their reputations by hand over generations before becoming global empires. British heritage brands. Britain's contribution to luxury fashion is deeply tied to tradition, utility, and social class. Burberry, founded in 1856, made waterproof gabardine fabric and outfitted British soldiers before becoming a global fashion name. Alexander McQueen brought drama and rebellion to British tailoring. Vivienne Westwood turned punk into high fashion. What defines British luxury brands is a sense of history worn openly, trench coats, tweeds, plaids, and silhouettes that reference aristocratic and military origins. They tend to carry a quiet, confident authority, rather than flashy ornamentation. Luxury conglomerates. Behind many of the world's most famous fashion names are a handful of massive parent companies that most people have never heard of. LVMH, based in France, owns over 75 brands, including Louis Vuitton, Givenchy, Celine, and Loewe. Kering owns Gucci, Saint Laurent, and Balenciaga. Richemont controls Cartier, IWC, and Chloe. These conglomerates manage the global expansion, distribution, and marketing of their brands, while trying to preserve the individual identity of each house. They are a defining feature of how modern luxury fashion actually operates behind the scenes. Streetwear-Turned-Luxury Brands. This is a relatively newer category. These brands began in urban and youth culture before crossing into the upper tiers of fashion. Off-White, founded by Virgil Abloh, used industrial graphics and quotation marks to question what luxury even means. Supreme started as a New York skateboarding shop and became one of the most coveted names in fashion through deliberate scarcity. Balenciaga, though originally a classic couture house, reinvented itself under Demna Gvasalia, with oversized silhouettes and bold streetwear references. These brands blurred the line between high fashion and the street in a way that permanently changed the industry. Luxury sportswear and athletic brands. Some brands occupy a unique space where performance meets prestige. Loro Piana, known for the finest cashmere and wool in the world, produces knitwear and outerwear for people who want quality without any visible logo. Brunello Cucinelli built an entire philosophy around slow fashion and ethical production, pricing his pieces accordingly. On the sportier end, collaborations between Nike and Dior, or Adidas and Prada, created limited lines that carry luxury pricing while maintaining athletic roots. The segment reflects a broader cultural shift, where comfort and performance are no longer seen as opposites of elegance. Luxury accessories and leather goods brands. Some houses built their entire identity not around clothing, but around the objects that accompany it. Louis Vuitton began as a luggage maker in Paris in 1854. Hermès is known worldwide for the Birkin and Kelly bags, which function almost as financial assets, with waitlists stretching years. Goyard has served French nobility since 1853 and maintains exclusivity by refusing e-commerce entirely. These brands understand that a bag or a trunk, used daily and passed across generations, can carry a meaning that a garment rarely survives long enough to accumulate. Luxury watch and jewelry brands entering fashion. Cartier, Tiffany, and Bulgari began as jewelers, but have expanded into full fashion ecosystems, including handbags, scarves, eyewear, and fragrances. Their entry into wearable fashion is strategic. A customer who trusts a brand with a diamond ring is often willing to extend that trust to a leather belt or a silk scarf. These crossovers benefit from centuries of established credibility in craftsmanship and materials, giving their fashion lines an authority that newer brands spend decades trying to earn. Luxury fashion from non-Western markets. For most of fashion history, luxury was defined almost entirely by Europe. That is changing. Japanese brands like Comme des Garçons and Yohji Yamamoto brought a completely different aesthetic vocabulary, asymmetry, deconstruction, and a philosophical relationship with the body that reshaped how Western designers think about clothing. Chinese luxury houses are now beginning to gain international recognition, drawing on silk traditions and embroidery techniques with roots thousands of years old. As global purchasing power shifts, the definition of luxury is expanding to include voices and traditions that were long overlooked by the industry's European centre. And that covers all the major categories of luxury fashion brands, from the historic couture houses of Paris to the emerging voices reshaping the industry from the East. Each category carries its own history, its own values, and its own definition of what luxury actually means. Thanks for watching, and we will see you in the next one.